Hello and welcome to Entertainment and Stars. My name is Rob. I am here. You are there and with me. Today I am honored with my longtime buddy, Rhodes Rants. How are you, Rhodes? How's everything going?
Everything is going fantastic. How are you, Rob? We're back together again.
I
How about
know.
that?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm really happy because last time I had you and John on and I had a great time and everybody was saying it was just terrific. They were happy to see you and John on the channel. And I said, it's been a while. It's been a while. You know, we haven't had much news, rumors, but now the Mando's back, and pretty excited.
Yeah, I know it. I hope we're talking spoilers, right? We are going to talk
Oh,
spoilers.
oh yeah. This is
Okay.
we're gonna do we're gonna do we got an hour and a half, so we're gonna do the whole entire we're gonna do beginning to end. I have my little notes I wrote down on my at work. I was writing all these notes down,
Okay.
trying to go in order. So I hope I have everything. And that's it, we'll start from the beginning. So I just want to say hi to my friend. What's up, Sim Fishy, and what's up, Breck Noob? How you doing? And Rudy, what's going on? Just want to say hi to my boys that they go out my streams when I stream late at night. But anyway, episode 1, season 2, chapter 9, The Mandalorian. We're gonna go spoilers here, but real quick, non-spoiler. What would you have given this episode? What would you rate it?
I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, a 7.5 out of 10. And I'll tell you how I came about that. I said the episode was good, and it had some 10 out of 10 moments in it, but overall it just ended up being good, not great. Okay, but it had that mic drop moment, right? At the end, at the very, very end.
We'll get to that.
Where I just completely lost my shit.
I knew you were going to.
I lost it because I'm a boba guy, so
yep.
I lost it. Yeah,
I knew it. I said, the minute that happened, I was thinking you all the way. That's why I said I hope he comes on tonight because I really want to talk.
Yeah,
and I
cool.
know you. By the way, if you want to check out Rhodes, he has 3 channels. He has Rhodes Rants, a political channel. He has Black and White on pop, Black and White on sports, and Black and White on pop culture. Pop culture is probably where you want to go. He talks about, movies and Star Wars and stuff like that. So if any of you guys are checking out, it's Black and White on pop culture, Black and White sports, and Rhodes Rants. And those are the 3 channels. I hope you guys, do what I always ask you to do. Subscribe, check out his channel, give him some likes, and you're gonna like him and John, are very good guys. So I've known them for 2 years. They're terrific friends, terrific guys.
And I've got a full review up from the episode too on the channel too.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Oh, nice! Look at that. That's really nice.
I just got that the other day. That's the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett.
I got this. Not as nice as yours, though, but this is what
I saw that in the store the other day.
By the way, real quick, did you see my Emperor Palpatine video I did with you and Johnny?
I did see it. Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Hey, I wanna give a shout out to somebody that just dropped in the chat.
Sure.
What's up, Melissa?
Melissa.
Yeah.
There's Melissa. There she is. Here she goes. It's a smile.
Yeah.
So cool. So let's start from the beginning. By the way, so we'll start from the beginning. Rhodes gave it a 7.5. I friggin' loved this episode. I friggin' loved it. Oh my god. I almost want to give it a 10. That's how much I love this. I don't know what's wrong with it. I really couldn't figure it out. But let's start from the beginning. Okay. So we have the recap. Right, so they start recapping season 1, and the armorer is basically explaining to him that he's got to return, like we see in the trailers, that he's got to return the child to the sorcerers, known as the Jedi. And he's like, well, how am I going to find them? So he figures he's got to go find other Mandalorians to help him. That's basically the gist. We get that in the first 5 minutes of the show. Rhodes said on his channel, if you didn't watch it, I was watching his video. He said they start off after that, so we get an idea. He's on some planet. We don't know what planet it is, but Rhodes said he thought it was Coruscant, and I said, you know what? I think he might be right on that.
Well, I actually threw 2 planets out there, and I'm actually leaning more heavily towards it being Corellia. I think it's Corellia.
Corellia.
Yeah, I think it's Corellia.
Corellia.
And if
that's what I
you
meant,
go,
Corellia. I'm sorry, I said the wrong.
Yeah,
planet.
if you go back and look at Solo, I'm a duck for the tomato throwers. But if you go back and look at Solo, there's a scene of a sky shot that's very reminiscent of them walking in, and yeah.
And you know what about that? There was a lot of graffiti on the wall. So I see some people, they're trying not to spoil it on Twitter and stuff like that, but I go on there so some people said that they think it's that writing that like they have on Galaxy's Edge. I forget what it's called, something with an A. I forgot that. I should have written it down. So it's some kind of writing but I wouldn't know how to translate it anyway. I mean, it probably has to do with like a link to Galaxy's Edge, a little Easter egg, something like that. It said I don't know if that's true, but I noticed they had a lot of stormtrooper helmets up there on the wall. Did you notice that?
I did see that. I did. There were all kinds of like some throws towards the Empire written on the wall, and how many times have you seen the episode? I've already watched it twice. So twice. Yeah, I watched it. Well, actually, I've seen it twice, and I've watched the ending like 6 times. Yeah, God, I gotta admit, man, politics has gotten so heavy that I'm not gonna lie to you. It was kind of nice to geek out for a day again. I was like, last night, about 4:00, I started getting a little nervous. I was like, holy shit. I was like, Star Wars comes back tomorrow. And I was like, The Mandalorian is back. And I like that little kid on Christmas morning feeling, I was start getting charged up. And I'm like, I'm sort of the weirdest dude ever because I'm like, I was always like half jock, half nerd. You don't find that very much. So I'm getting charged up, and I go to bed early so I can get up, and I got up way too early. I was up at like 2:08 a.m.
Oh my God.
And it didn't release till like 3:30.
Oh my God.
I ended up getting up and I went to the store, got an energy drink,
right.
Bought a pack of smokes, came back home. The Mandalorian had loaded up. I said, I'm good. Let's go.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Majat says, I don't understand. He says, who was the guy? Oh, who's the guy at the end of the show? Okay, well,
we'll get there.
We'll get there, but I don't know how long he's going to be on. So basically, okay, I'm going to go to the end. We're going to talk about the whole show, but the end, which is his favorite part. There's Timo Morrison. I think I'm saying his name. You see him in the prequels. He plays as clones. And Jango Fett. That's he's Boba Fett basically. Basically Boba Fett has survived. That's the big ending. He survived. He's crawled out of the pit. How? I don't know. I mean, listen, I've gone online and I've seen this long time ago. Someone did a fantastic video where you see the Sarlacc pit and you just see footsteps and Boba Fett has his whole armor and he hits the thing and the Slave One comes up.
Great fan trailer. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great fan trailer.
Yeah, it's fun. By the way, I tried to do a reaction to it, but they banned it on my channel. They would not allow me to show. Yeah,
Are you serious?
They gave me a copyright. They would not a strike, but they copyright and they blocked it. They would not allow me to do a reaction to that video, which I was so upset because I really wanted to do a reaction to it. I loved it, and I was
they randomly block the weirdest things on YouTube.
Yeah.
They do it to me, like just randomly, like you're blocking that. Why? I mean, I won't have a clue.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out, but that's who it is. But so anyway, Mando, we kind of skipped. So he's going to, Corellia or Coruscant. I'm assuming it's Corellia, He goes and he's looking for this guy, and his name is, hold on, I wrote it down. Hold on. Gore Koresh. Gore Koresh. He has the one eye. That's his name. So he goes in, and this guy must, he must be a big shot. He's the big shot of the place. So we can see the two they used guards, but Rhodes said it best on his video again.
Gamorreans.
The Gamorreans. And they had the axes, which, again, if I watched Rhodes' video, so I caught like the first 10 minutes of his video before I went. So they're clashing, battling. So Mando is there because he's trying to find a Mandalorian to help guide him to find the Jedi. That's what he figures. He figures if he finds a Mandalorian, they'll be able to guide him to find where the Jedi are, so he can return the child to because that's where he's got to go, because everybody's hunting this kid down. So he's like, yeah, I know. Just watch. And all of a sudden, he leads up to the part we see in the trailer, the guys with the guns, because he wants the Beskar armor, because now Beskar is through the roof. And so it's very valuable. It's like it's gold or diamonds. It's very valuable. So Mando's like, listen, you tell me where he is and I won't kill you all. It's that simple. And the guy, of course, is cocky, got all his boys shooting to his head. And
Bad idea. Bad idea.
Yeah, got the wrist. Boom, 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 boom. It's great. He fights the guys. I loved when the Gamorrean jumps out of the ring and he tries to get him, but he misses. He steps at the table.
He just does a sidestep on him and boom, face plants. Yeah,
it's fun.
Nice.
It's funny because I don't know if you were a wrestling fan, but that's the first thing I thought of wrestling, like how they used to jump on tables and.
Man, I grew up on I'm in Texas. Of course, I grew up on wrestling, man.
Yeah.
Down here, we had the Von Erichs and the Freebirds,
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen all them guys wrestle in person. Yeah, all the Von Erichs and.
That's the first thing I thought. Oh, what does Majat say? So Beskar armor is more expensive than Minecraft diamond armor. Well, yeah, I guess so. But it's now it's becoming pricey that they want that armor. So anyway, he kills them. Guy runs away. Chases Gore. He shoots him with his cable wire. Hangs him on the lamppost. And he's like, "Don't kill me, kill me." And I love this line. He goes, "Nah, I won't kill you." I was like, oh boy. He's not going to kill him with his own hand. That's what he said. And I was like, oh boy. No, this is not going good for this poor guy. He doesn't see this coming. So he tells him, I'm looking for some Mandalorian. Where can I find him? And he says, on Tatooine. I swear it's on Tatooine. So he shoots the laser. He's like, all right, thanks. I'm out of here. He's like, let me down. He's like, that's not part of the deal. He shoots the lamppost. The lights go dim. And all of a sudden, these things with red eyes all over the place.
I described them as, do you remember the old horror movie Critters?
Critters. Oh my God.
Yeah, from back in the day, the little round furry balls with the red eyes. I was like, oh, it's like the little guys from Critters, So that's how I described them. I was like, man, it's like they had the little alien guys from Critters there waiting on the guy. And the lights went out. I guess they were going to eat him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm right or not, but I think the guy that had the one eye was voiced by John Leguizamo, but I'm not certain. Yeah,
that's 100% true. Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I knew I saw his name come up in the credits. I was like, wow. I was like, that's a big actor to get in this,
Yeah,
another big actor.
The guy is called Gore Koresh. You can call him Gore. That's his name with the one eye. That's the character's name. That's what I don't know. That's what I looked up. So anyway, Mando goes to Tatooine. He flies off to Tatooine. Now he's in search of the other Mandalorian. This I thought was jaw-dropping moment when I saw this. So he goes through town and everybody's looking at him. He's on the speedo. Oh, I forgot. He got to the launch pad before he goes in town. He got to the launch pad. He met that woman. I forgot her name off the top of my head. And she was in episode 1 when she was at the port. So she sees, the baby Yoda, the child, and she's all happy and thrilled. And she's got those repair robots, whatever. So she tells him it's at a town. That's where he's got to go. What's the town's name? Hold on, I had the town's name. What was it? Oh, I forgot the name of the town. I wrote it down too. Well, I can't think of the town's name off the top of my. Oh, it is Mos Plego. That's the name of the town. So she shows him where it is. He takes a speeder bike. He goes there. He goes through town. And as he's going through town, everybody's looking at him like, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy?" So he walks into the cantina. Of course, where's the best place to get information? The cantina. So he walks in, and there's the bartender or whatever you want to call this guy. And he said, "I'm looking for someone who looks like me." And he said, "Well, here he is." And he turns around, and you hear, of course, you hear like the old cowboy spurs, and like, oh shit! And in comes a guy with the Boba Fett outfit. He's got the mask, he's got the vest, he's got the arm rocket, he's got the jetpack. That moment, Rhodes, what is going through your mind?
Well, number one, I know who's playing the character, so I'm already sort of wigging out. I'm a massive Timothy Oliphant fan. Look, I love Deadwood. I love Justified. It's two of my favorite series of all time. And he's the main character in both series. And so once he got cast, I was like, holy crap. This is a guy that's not only headlined his own TV series before successfully, but he's headlined some of his own movies, feature films. So I was like, that's a big Star Wars get right there. And then on top of it, for him to end up being Cobb Vanth, I was like, oh, this is going to be really good because Timothy is a fantastic cowboy. That's what he plays is a cowboy, a gunslinger. That's what his roles has always been, a gunslinger. And I was like, this is a perfect casting. And as soon as he turned around, I was like, yeah, you can tell because he's a tall, lean guy, in real life. And he was, and they even had him at one point when Mando and him were sort of facing off. He reached down and he finger tapped his gun like this.
Yeah.
And he used to do that in Justified, the series.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, that's a great nod to his. He played a U.S. Marshal named Raylan Givens in Kentucky. And he would tap his gun, wore a cowboy hat. Yeah.
Yeah, he played a great role. So, like he said, comes walking in, he asks for a drink, and Mandalorian's looking at him like, and he sees the armor. So as he goes to sit down, Mando's taking a little bit aback because he takes the helmet off. Now, Mandalorians don't do that. So he's not really a Mandalorian. And so he's taken aback like, whoa, you're going to take your helmet off? That's not what we do.
He knew right there. He was like, well, you're not a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his name is, like Rhodes said, Cobb Vanth. That's his name. I think he was in, what books was he in? Was he in the EU? Was he in?
He was the only good thing in Aftermath.
Aftermath. Okay.
Yeah. Which is a book written by the hated Chuck Wendig, and rightfully so. He should be hated. But that was a cool nod. And even in that book, you had a pretty good idea. Okay, Boba Fett's alive somewhere.
Right.
That was the takeaway that everybody had from that, insinuated.
Right.
And so, yeah.
And
Cobb Vanth got his armor. Yeah.
And the rumors were true because they did say that somehow they found the Boba Fett armor. That was true. Boba Fett's alive. That was true. So a lot of these rumors, and the other true is Ahsoka Tano. We'll get into that because I think Majad asked me, have you heard that Ahsoka Tano is going to be in? Yeah. I actually, in my Twitter, it was on Disney. It was on a description. Rosario Dawson is playing Ahsoka Tano. She's going to be in this. Don't know when, but she will be in this.
I've got a good idea when.
That's for certain. That's for certain.
Do you want me to tell you?
Sure, go ahead.
Episode 7 is called The Sorceress.
Episode 7.
Yeah, and I also think that is the episode that Dave Filoni directs this year.
Now, Sasha Banks, is she Sabine Wren? That's what I want to.
That's the rumor, but I don't know. I don't. Okay. That I can't tell you for sure.
I thought at first she was just a Jedi, but then I saw rumors of her being Sabine Wren, and I was like, Really? Because I thought she was the Jedi, just playing a random Jedi character.
Well, Ahsoka and Sabine would be together right now, or should be right in this
Right,
time period.
right, because they're looking for
Yeah.
Ezra Bridger. Yeah,
Right. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
Which which open
good.
which opens up a whole nother line of questions, by the way.
Well, what it could open is the possible rumor of a Ahsoka TV series. That's what it could open. I mean,
Oh,
maybe
that's gonna happen. That's
yeah,
happening. Yeah.
yeah,
She's getting her own series. I can tell you that right now.
right. I
It's
agree.
and there's another, there's a bunch of different rumors going on right now. Like there's a Thrawn Ezra series that's separate from that. There's Ahsoka Tano and Rex. Then there's
Yeah.
Boba Fett own series. I still contend that Cobb Vanth will get a series
Huh.
because
that-
I said you don't cast Timothy without the idea of giving Timothy a series, because that's what Timothy is used to having, is his own series.
Right.
So, people, they'll want to gauge the react. This is a great platform. Gauge the reaction to characters.
Right.
And then decide if there's potential to keep going there.
Oh, I heard other things too. I heard Lando Calrissian possible. I heard Ben Solo, not Kylo. Ben Solo.
I can do without either one of those.
I'm just telling you what I heard. I think
I can look. I don't need to see Donald Glover anymore. I'm good.
Okay. But I'm telling you.
I love Billy D.
Right.
Look, of all the things that I actually liked Alden Ehrenreich more than I liked Donald Glover.
I liked him too. I thought he played great.
It's tough to take on Han. That's a hard ask for any actor, because Harrison is so unique,
Yeah.
But yeah, Donald Glover, no, I don't need to see that at all.
Listen, I thought they did. I'm like you. There's only one thing in Disney that I can't stand. There's a couple things. I didn't care for Resistance. That was just too goofy for me. I tried. I watched 3 episodes, and after the 3rd episode, I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get into it. It was not for me. The Forces of Destiny, I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes just because I wanted to check it out, but I didn't care for it at all.
Yeah.
And the sequel trilogy. That, to me, those 3 things are the worst. But everything else I've been very happy with. So I'm not going to complain. I mean, that's just me.
Well, I liked Solo.
Right.
I did.
How about Rogue One?
But I do tend to agree with one of the narratives out there. One of the narratives is, did we need a Han Solo movie, a young Han Solo? And no. I honestly, I'm like, in the big scheme of things, especially look, I know me and you liked it, but let's face it, me and you are in the minority on Solo.
Yeah.
It did more harm to the community than it did good. Let's be honest.
Well, there was a guy, Mike Zero, right? A lot of people iffy, but he was on point with this one thing. He was like, they want to do a movie every year. I understood. What they wanted to do was a trilogy. Every other year would be a trilogy, and then in between would be solo stories. So they would cover all the old and the new. And I said, that's awesome, because then we would instead of waiting 4 or 5 years to get a Star Wars movie in the damn thing. I'm not getting any younger. So I would be great to see, whichever character you pick. Okay, we'll see Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, we see Darth Vader, and it would be great to have those stories in between. And I think that was what they wanted to do, but they got scared when Solo tanked. That scared them. That's what happened.
We actually are, in my opinion, far as the direction of the way things are going, we may have came out better in a lot of ways, because I think we're going to get better storytelling out of a TV series in this present day than we will any film ever.
I agree.
Okay, because look, a television show is just stretched longer. Okay, it has more room to breathe, right? look how long six episodes of a television series is, like 3 movies almost.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got time to develop your character. And look, I'm going to tell you why the sequel trilogy didn't work. The storytelling was so poor that it gave you characters. The storytelling around the characters was so poor. You ended up not giving a shit what happened to those characters.
Yeah.
Like, we just didn't care. We just didn't care. It was like if Rey dies in the first 3 minutes of The Rise of Skywalker, nobody's going to care. Right. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what happens to her. Nobody cares what happens to Kylo. Kylo had so much potential, and they ruined that.
Yep.
Your characters have to be able to have failures. They have to experience failures. They have to go through trials and tribulations. And when you don't break down the character to make them have to come back from something they went through, being in peril in some way, being in harm in some way. If all they have is successes, what are you supposed to cheer for? Because it all looks the same. Yeah. Okay. It's like, and not only that, but we've already seen it done right. You know, with Anakin and with Luke. And so it made, like, Rey's character, who was supposed to be the main character, it made her look even more filled with flaws in the storytelling, you know, because we had seen it done so well prior that, look, it wouldn't have mattered what they did. As long as they had hired the right people to make everything and took their time, they could have done a ton of movies. Nobody would have cared as long as they hired the right people to make everything, right?
Right.
So, and they didn't do it. So here we are.
I think what they did was, number one, they wanted to put out their Star Wars. You know, they wanted to eliminate everything in the past, and that's not the way to go. You know, if you have something, you need to continue with the story. Now, of course, the heroes can't live forever. You know, I understand that. You know, it's a war. You know, if they're going to be involved in the war, they retire and go to another planet, and that's the end. Or, you know, they have the possibility of dying of old age or whatever because of the war. It's understandable. You know, I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Do one of two things. Either expound on the old characters and make sure you do it right, or stay away from them completely.
Yeah.
Don't even get close to them, because you might mess it up and you're going to make people mad. Go in a completely new character direction. Don't get away from the principles of Star Wars, which they wildly failed in. They don't have a clue how to handle Jedis in Disney. They don't have a clue how to develop a Jedi in Disney.
It's true. It's true. And a lot of other things. I mean, wow, I don't know how we got involved in this, but it's, you know, that's the thing. I think that if they go the TV route, you're correct. And I read this, a lot of people saying this, and it made a lot of sense. When you have 8 episodes, you have 8 hours to tell the story. When you have 2 hours, you have to squeeze everything in. Mm-hmm. And then you'll be like, oh, we got to cut this out because it's too long. We have to cut this out. We have to cut this out. This might be the way to go. This, as they say, this is the way. This might be the way. I mean, it's phenomenal. I don't. If you don't like it because you just think it's cool to hate it and it gets you clicks and it gets you views, then good for you. You know. But I got to be honest. I'm not going to lie to people when I say I really, really loved it. And like the Entertainment Crew said, it's another good channel I watch. He said 9 out of 10. You know, I thought it was excellent. I'm sorry. I thought this episode was fucking fantastic. Plain English. It was great.
Look, they've given us very little really good Star Wars, and The Mandalorian is really good Star Wars.
And it feels like it.
Look, some folks are going to hate just to hate because that's got to keep their narrative going, right?
Right, yeah.
But I don't know, as a Star Wars fan, how you can watch this, because it feels like George is involved. It does. It oozes George Lucas.
It feels great.
You can tell that Favreau and Filoni keep George pretty close.
Oh, this is a good one. They were saying, Majat said, I also like Rebels. And Entertainment said, a crew said, I like Rebels in the standalone movie. Me too. Listen, our biggest problem here is the sequel trilogy. They rushed the characters. They didn't develop them. Finn had so much potential. Poe Dameron had a lot of potential. Kylo Ren had a lot of potential. And they just tried to rush. Like the Force solves everything. That was the answer to it. The Force solves everything. And that's not true. That's not true. There's emotions. Yeah. You can't. When you have emotions, you got to show it. I mean, you got to make. I want to sit in the theater. I want to feel that. This episode, I felt it, man. I felt the dilemma. I felt the townspeople. I felt them, how they felt with the Sand People. Like, what? They got to team up with the Sand People. They raided our village, We got to team up with them. Yeah, for the greater good. Yes, you have to. You felt that, man.
What was your favorite episode in season 1?
I think it wasn't 4. It was 3. I think it was 3 when all the Mandalorians came out and saved him, and he's trying to get off the planet with the child.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Because he was pinned down, and I was like, oh man, he's in trouble now. And these guys came out of nowhere, and they're coming with their jetpacks and shoot. Because you see Mandalorians in the Clone Wars, but to see it live action blew my mind.
Yeah, it was cool. And I loved when he went back in for Baby Yoda. I said he got that. They gave him that almost Dark Knight Batman scene in there when he's taking out all the stormtroopers in the dark.
Yes.
It was really cool. It felt like Batman almost. It was really great. Yeah. Yeah, I really like that.
So, our South Florida Thrifter, what's up? She says, the Force solved everything. Oh, that sucks. No wonder why Star Wars diehards were annoyed. Yeah, that's what happened. We got annoyed with that. It was because
the Force is not a superpower, Disney, by the way. It's not it's not Marvel. This is not Marvel. You can't mold the Force into whatever you want it to be. There are principles there.
Yeah.
There are principles. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we were up to the part in the cantina. So he meets Cobb Vanth, takes off his helmet, he's taking it back. He realizes he's not a Mandalorian. He threatened him and said, listen, they have the little Wild West one-on-one showdown. If you don't give me the armor, I'm taking it from you. He said, right now, in front of the kid. So they stand up. They look like they're gonna go, and then the trembling starts, right? And when I see this monster, which was the Crate Dragon, I think of it was a film. I think it was called Tremors, way back when.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember Tremors.
Oh,
and Tremors. That's what I think of when I saw this. It would travel under the ground, and it ate Bantha, and then it went away. So he's like, listen, I'll tell you what, Mando. Here's what we're gonna do. You help me get rid of this thing so I can save this town, and the armor's all yours. So they agree. They head on after it. He takes his speeder. And I think this is also another Easter egg, Rhodes. You can let me know. Cobb is riding. It looks like an engine. But that engine...
I know where you're going, yeah. I know where you're going.
I'm going to let you finish my sentence because I want to see if you know.
It's part of Anakin's pod racer.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
And that's the first thing I saw. I was like, wait a second. Pod racing. That's the first thing I thought of. So
yeah,
they go, they wind up, and this part reminded me of The Lion King. It's the first thing I thought of. So they go to this area. And it's kind of dark, a little cavey, but open, a little like, what do you call it? Like a lot of mountain, a little mountainy. And they're in this area, and all of a sudden these womp rats, which are awesome, they come out and they're growling. They remind me of the hyenas. So this scene kind of reminded me of The Lion King, where you have Simba and the hyenas are coming after him, and he's like all by himself, Here it's the Mando and Cobb Vanth. So they're ready to fire, and all of a sudden, the Mando makes this noise, and I'm like, what the hell's he doing? And they calm down. He knows how to talk to the sand people. So I didn't know that.
He talked to him in the first season.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did talk to him in the first season. It was the season that Boba Fett showed up at the very end of episode 4, the gunslinger. At the very, very, very end, when Boba Fett walked up and you only saw his legs.
Right.
That was the episode where he talked to the Tusken Raiders. Yeah.
I forgot because it's been so long. The Tusken Raiders were great. We didn't see anything this in depth with them before. And this is what we're talking about with the TV shows.
This is a great
This is it.
They made a great point. I talked about it in my review today. Look what they're doing with the Tusken Raiders, what they've decided to do. Look how much more depth they've given the Tusken Raiders now. And what does that do? This is great storytelling from Filoni and Favreau. Now that you're getting to know the Tusken Raiders even more, it makes Anakin's massacre of the Tusken Raiders in episode 2 that much more impactful.
Yeah.
Because we only knew the Tusken Raiders sort of as very, very ancillary characters, but now they're getting more depth. Now you're learning more about their culture. Now you're seeing them sit down, interact, eat. You're learning their customs. And then you flash back and think, damn, Anakin slaughtered a bunch of them, including women and children.
Yep.
So that's great storytelling.
Yeah.
When you can tie something way back to episode 2, it's like, oh, wow. It even makes what Anakin did seem even more sinister now on his way to the dark side. So, yeah, that's cool stuff.
My boy Jedi Singh from the UK, he's a gamer, by the way. He's a great gamer. He's very funny. He's a very funny guy. He says, it's crazy we thought that they were killers. He's talking about the sand people and madmen. But we are getting a deeper story. So Anakin was a cold-blooded killer. What do you think of that, Rhodes?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Sure. It's crazy we thought that the sand people were killers and madmen, but we are getting a deeper story. So Anakin was a cold-blooded killer.
They're very reminiscent of Native Americans.
Right.
Of Native Americans of past gone by. Think about it. You know, if you've ever, that's why I love The Mandalorian. It's a Western. I love Westerns.
Right.
And Tusken Raiders are the Native Americans of The Mandalorian Western, essentially. And, yeah, I mean, you know, Native Americans have got a wildly deep culture with all kinds of customs. And so we're learning about this stuff now with The Mandalorian and these Tusken Raiders. It's good. That's good storytelling. It really is.
Because Entertainment Crew said the same thing about season 1 with the Jawas, and that was on my mind. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to interrupt Rhodes. But you're right. That's exactly what I was thinking. The exact same way that you know. That's we got that story, the same thing with the Jawas, and you got to see the Jawas and a little bit of their culture, you know. And the Jawas were peaceful; they were just scavengers. That's all they were. Like Ray, they were scavengers. They would go around, collect something, they get a droid, they would take it. They stole stuff. Okay, it wasn't the right thing to do, but they were scavengers. That's how they made their money. That's how they survived. That's what they stole to survive. I mean, that's basically it. Until the stormtroopers came and slaughtered the hell out of these poor things. And you know, I felt really bad. I have to say, in A New Hope, if one scene got me, besides Obi-Wan's death, it would definitely have to be when the Jawas, when they're actually sitting there with the nothing of bodies, just like clots, and they were burning them, you know, because they died. They was, you know, sacrifice. Well, I don't know, like what you would call that, but not a burial, but you know, like I guess their culture. They were trying to you know.
In A New Hope, you mean?
Yeah, in A New Hope. Yeah.
Well, hey, we didn't even mention the fact that R5D4 came rolling up,
right,
to talk to that lady from A New Hope, and he was still slow and not working right.
That's true. Majat says the Tatooine looks like the Great Plains. Yeah, that's probably where they could have shot it there. That by the way, what just said, by the way, what about the speeder? It is Anakin. Yes, we said that. You missed it's definitely Anakin's pod racer. Absolutely. Absolutely. So all right, so now they get the Sand People. They go to this thing. They want to do the same thing. They get along, they're getting along. They're trying to plan it out, and this was really funny. So they say, okay, we'll put the bantha there and we'll draw it out. So it makes the noise. The thing comes out, it just goes to the bantha. It's like, screw you. And it just shakes it.
That was funny, yeah.
And then and the bantha's like, well, maybe you have a better idea. That didn't work out.
Yeah, a bantha is sort of like a big buffalo / cow, that you can ride.
Right.
Big, but I thought it was wild that they said that thing ate the Sarlacc. I was like, wow, that's pretty wild.
Well, I don't. You mean the dragon ate the Sarlacc?
The crate dragon. Yeah.
Because what happens is it's a pit, and what it must be. This is my imagination. It's a pit right in the middle of the desert, but the living thing must live underneath it. That's what I'm thinking. Like the flesh must be. So this thing could dig. So it probably went underneath and just it can't walk. It's stuck there. That's unfortunately this thing just stays there with its mouth open, and that's it. That's its life. So this dragon must have came off and said, "Oh, look at this. This is going to fill me up," and went just. That's it. Must have.
Right. Of course, the view of the Sarlacc changed over the years too. It with George Lucas's special editions, it went from being just an opening to an actual creature. Remember, with a mouth.
Oh yeah.
That looked like what was the thing from Little Shop of Horrors?
The plant. The man-eating plant.
Ended up looking like the plant. Yeah.
Jedi Singh says, I love the part where the Tusken was brushing his teeth. That was cool. I had to admit, you might have missed it, Rose, but he has the bantha, right? And it's a quick scene. It's a quick pan. So as the camera's panning, you'll see if you watch it real close, you'll see the Tusken brushing the teeth of the bantha. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it again.
It was pretty funny. But oh, what's up, Tiffany? How are you? She says, sorry, Rob, I'm late. Hi, everyone. Listen, better late than never. So I'm glad you came. I didn't even think you'd come, but thanks for coming. How did the Sarlacc get there? What is it born there? How? They don't explain that. I mean, it's possible that these things pop up in certain areas, maybe because of the who knows? It could be the moisture, could be anything, how the planet was created, could be anything, how they got there. They don't really go into detail. That's something I would have to look up, actually. I really don't have the answer to that one. That's a good question, though. Really, I don't even know the answer to that, how it got there. I can only assume, Like, how did a waterfall get there? It just formed. It formed over time. That's all I think. It could be anything. That's really all I can come up with. So anyway, so the plan doesn't work, and then they go back to town. They convince the villagers, look, if we don't do this, it's going to kill all of us, including the Sand People. And they didn't want the Sand People involved. But listen, if we don't join forces, we're all going to die. This thing will wipe out the town,
Cobb Vanth, his selling point was it's going to come back and eat the school.
Yeah, eat the school.
I was like, it was funny because this episode was very much almost like a Western television series. They got a schoolhouse and a saloon. I was like, this feels like a Western,
Well, listen, I did a video way back when, and Jon Favreau said he made The Mandalorian based on a Western. And because his father used to love Westerns. So he watched Westerns. So he thought, hey, what a good idea that I'll mix the Western with Star Wars and give it a Star Wars feeling. And that's exactly what this was. Exactly.
They got it down. They got it down. Yeah.
Totally. Well, I don't know, but did anyone think the first season with the Gamorreans was in Jakku? I don't know. Was in Jakku. I don't know, Rose. Do you think the first season was in Jakku? I mean,
No, they were in Tatooine in the first season.
Yeah, I don't think it was Jakku. No, I don't remember Jakku. I mean, again, you have planets that are very similar, but I don't think that
there's a bunch of sand planets. Jeddah was a lot like Tatooine. You know, it had more cliffs. It had more cliffs, but it was a bunch of sand. You know.
Yeah.
And that was from Rogue One.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's the word I was looking for before. I couldn't think of the cliffs as perfect, not mountains. Cliffs, perfect. So anyway, so they all go get together, and the plan is that the only way you're going to kill this thing is from its belly. That's its weak point. Otherwise, there's no way. So they now here's what I didn't get, and maybe Rhodes can tell me this, because this was the only thing throughout the whole entire thing that didn't make any sense. So they wanted to get mad and wanted to charge out. So I'm like, why do you have to put the bomb so far away? I know it was to make it dramatic, and I get why for the show reasoning. But realistically, why wouldn't you want to get those bombs as close as possible, then draw it out, and then detonate it? Why would you put it so far away? I didn't understand.
Maybe they thought they needed to blow up as much as they could of the dragon in order to kill it. In other words, if only, a quarter of him's out there, are we really going to do enough damage to actually put this thing away?
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I didn't really think that was going to work to begin with. As I was watching, and I was like, that's not going to work. And the Mandalorian ended up doing it the right way. You blow him up from the inside.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you do it.
And it's funny. There was a comic book about that. It was with Kylo Ren in it. And I think that he went and he had to face the same thing, the Krayt dragon, to prove himself, and they couldn't harm it because the skin and these creatures saw it as a god. So he's like, I'm going to kill your god. And they're like, what? So in the comic book, the same thing. He gets swallowed by the thing, and they're laughing like, you couldn't kill this thing. And he destroys it from the inside. That's how he kills it. And he comes out, he's a mess. But that's what happened for Kylo Ren. He actually took on one of these things, and he beat it from doing the same thing the Mandalorian did. So I thought that was coming. I had a feeling that might come, especially when he put when the Bantha's sitting there and he grabs the Bantha and it has all the bombs. I'm like, wow, that's brilliant. That was a great idea. Blow it up from the inside. That was a great idea. So now I was wrong about one thing. While they're going through, they're collecting the meat for their village, because obviously that's a ton of food for them. I mean, that's food enough for probably the whole entire year. That's ridiculous, They find, I thought it was an egg, but I heard it wasn't an egg. It was a pearl.
It's a pearl. Yeah,
it's
correct.
A pearl. Okay.
Yeah.
So these things have pearls inside them?
Yeah. Now, I'm not your Krayt dragon expert. It's an EU creature. They pulled it from the EU.
Okay.
And Favreau and Filoni did. And I did see today a lot of EU fans were none too happy that they decided to do that. Yeah, I was like, uh-oh. I was like, we got the EU fans mad.
But wasn't this dragon also in the Clone Wars? Like, didn't they?
I think so. Yes. I swear that thing was in the Clone Wars. Because I know I'm not going crazy.
If I remember correctly, they capture it, right? And it's in the city of the Republic. They bring it to Coruscant. And they're trying to kill it because the Palpatine wants to get the armor, the skin. He figures, listen, if we can get this armor, nothing's going to penetrate us, right? But the creature escapes. And it runs rampant through the city, and then they have to go and stop it. If I remember, that's what happens in the episode.
The creature is also in Knights of the Old Republic, the video game.
Yes, Singh just said that. He said said I think it was in the Knights of the Republic, the craft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. He said that's the Zillo beast. That's something different. Okay. It was the Zillow Beast. I remember. I'm telling you, I remember that episode. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, but I love that episode. It was a Zillow Beast. I thought it was a Chris Dragon, but okay, it's a Zillow Beast. But they also have tough skin too. I mean, this thing had tough skin. So the difference must be the Zillow Beast actually has arm and legs and can move around. This thing was more like a snake or a worm and couldn't do that. That must be the difference between the two. I mean, I'm just guessing here. I don't know.
Yeah, not the same thing, but I just had a thought of that creature coming out trying to grab the Millennium Falcon coming out of the asteroid.
Yes. I wonder what that one is. Now you got me thinking about that one too. Wow, because I remember the big mouth. I remember that.
And that also was technically hiding inside of a cliff, only it was on an asteroid. You know?
Yeah, you're right about that. I wonder what that now. Now you're going to make me go and look at
the
Star Wars encyclopedias and stuff. Look all these creatures.
Yeah, and the Minox were living on the inside of it.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that scene very well. Oh my God, I saw that movie so many times. Jesus. So Mando blows him up. There's the pearl, and then comes Rhodes' part, which we talked about in the beginning. So as the Mando's driving off, and I hope I catch you again. And what's his name? Timothy Olpath. That's how you say his name?
Oliphant.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific, man. I loved it. I loved that he used the armor, flew, and he used a missile, and I loved how he went back to town after he was saved, which we didn't talk about. I forgot about that.
The dude has unbelievable swag. Unbelievable swag. He's not a cowboy in real life, but he always plays these cowboy-like gunslingers, and he's fantastic at it.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of TV series you like, but good God, if you ever get a chance, Justified lasted six seasons. You got to go watch it. I mean, he is so good in it.
I don't watch much television. I'll be honest with you. I really don't, because I'm working and I'm taking care of the baby and all this stuff. By the time I know it, I want to film a video and edit and go to bed. Then my day's done. It starts all over again. My day's fly.
I know what that's like now. I guarantee you. I'm doing 3 a day on average. I'm doing 3 a day, and Rob, I need to do 5 a day. I need to do 5 a day. I can't get it done. I just can't.
Yeah, you don't have enough time, man. You need time because I need to shower. You got to get ready for the next thing. You need sleep. I mean, come on.
Because at the rate my channel's growing right now, if I did 3 a day on my channel, there's a good possibility I would get between 10 and 30,000 views a day on my channel right now.
That's crazy.
If I could get 3 a day up. And I just can't get 3 a day up over there right now. I just can't do it.
You will in time, man. You will in time. You're doing fantastic, by the way, bro. You're totally kicking ass. I mean, you're amazing. Again, if you haven't checked out his channels, it's Black and White Sports, Black and White on Pop Cultures, and his name, Rhodes Rants. So make sure you subscribe, guys. Go over and check him out. Rhodes has been a friend of 2 years, and he's a really terrific guy. I followed him long time. So make sure you check him out. So we get to the end, and that's the big part. And here's my question before we get to that very end, because we got a little bit of time. Why does the Mando want the armor? Why? He didn't come there. He came there to find the Mandalorian. But why does he want Boba Fett's armor? That I did not understand.
Well, to him, number one, it's not Boba Fett's armor. It's Mandalorian armor.
Okay.
And that armor,
which is true,
is part of their creed. Okay. It's part of them as a culture. That armor is think about it. They have somebody that is like their armorer. The lady is like their all-knowing person they go to get all their advice and everything and how to handle. That's how important that armor is.
Yeah.
That armor really helps make up their entire culture. And so the Mandalorian's making it clear there that armor doesn't belong with anybody ever unless they are a true Mandalorian. Yeah. We got to remember, George Lucas said Jango Fett and Boba Fett were not Mandalorians.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
They were not Mandalorians.
They had Mandalorian armor, but
that's
were
it.
not Mandalorians.
That's it. Correct. Yeah.
Oh, how nice. Lady Toriel, that's a super chat. She says, 2 of my favorite guys. Awesome.
I love her. She's great. She has kicked ass in the community from the day I joined it. Yeah.
Forever. Yeah, she's been fantastic. And I felt bad when she stopped wanting to do her channel, because I always went to her channel and I'd always comment on all her videos and I'd always watch them. And then when she said, "Oh, I'm not going to do it anymore," I was so sad. I was like, "Oh man, why would you stop something that you do and you get a good group of people?" She's great for the community. Fantastic. She's been a great supporter to so many people. And I was kind of disappointed when I think she did a live stream today or the other day with Lorena Coriel, who's on Justin Proper's channel. I think she did a live with them, if I'm correct.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she was on live. It was cool. Like I said, Rose, I try to follow everybody too. So you got to remember that also. So I'm not just on my channel. I try to support as many people as I can, and even if I catch 10 minutes of a video, I just try to jump on. And that's why I said,
hard.
Comment on your video,
now.
but now I watched it, because how could I know the beginning of your video if I didn't watch it? So you have to know I watched it.
I'm to the point now where I literally have to. I can pull up and watch somebody's video and I can like it, but I don't even have time to comment. It's crazy.
Anymore. It's crazy. It's very hard.
YouTube has become. I'm working 12 to 14-hour days and half for the last 10 weeks.
Yeah,
10 or 12 weeks probably, but because I'm still clean, I've still got my cleaning business.
Right.
So. Right.
Well, listen, I'm working 12 hours. I get up at 6:30. I leave at 7. I don't get home to 6:30. The minute I get in, I got to walk the dog at 7. I'm making dinner for my daughter, whatever, spending time. By the time I get any free time, it's 10 p.m. I've been up since 6:30. So people are like, "Why aren't you streaming?" I'm like, "Dude, you have no idea. I have to try to figure out what to do for a video now." So, and I got to research and then put a video, and then editing the video. See, I don't have a computer, so I don't just sit here, put a headset on like a lot of other guys can do. So what I do is I edit literally, I will get pictures, I'll cut out things, I'll cut this out. It's so much work, but I want the video to come out really good. I don't put out a crap video. So that's what I do. I mean, sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Whatever, it is what it is. But between the editing, between looking up things, the information, maybe people like this, maybe people like that. Let me do this, let me do that. And I had to say the biggest thing about my Star Wars channel, which disappointed me, was I don't know what happened. I don't know why people didn't want to care for it anymore. I know there's the big guys. I can't compete with the Star Wars Theory. I can't compete with Star Wars Explained or Hello Joe. They're way up there. I don't get a shot, But it's just sad that I thought that Star Wars, that's something I love. Now, let's remember. Oh, Rhodes, you didn't have to do that, man. I just saw what you did.
Look. Don't worry about that. Look, man. I'm going to tell you the problem that me and you had with Star Wars. I can tell you exactly what it is. Look, man. We're either too positive in one area or we're too negative in another. Okay. Right. Because look, the Star Wars fandom is split.
Yeah.
It's split right now. It's absolutely split. And I would literally have people, if I said something that was too positive about something, I would have people that were subscribed to my channel get mad in the comments section and unsubscribe.
Wow.
Or I would do, for example, I'd do a Clone Wars review and I'd give it a really good review, or I'd say something negative about it. And somebody that liked my channel would unsubscribe because I was too negative about an episode. And because the Star Wars fandom is split right now, you can't make both sides happy all the time.
Right, but it's the same for politics. That's why I don't know how you guys do it on your channel, because I was like, man, if I got involved in politics, here's what I'm scared of. Whoever I pick, somebody is going to join and somebody is not. because they're gonna say, I can't stand you because you don't blah 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 blah. And I'm gonna get those trolls. I'm gonna get those haters.
But you gotta understand though,
I don't know how you do it.
When it comes to politics, it's different. It is completely different. I'm going to tell you how different it is. If I did a video on Star Wars and it got 10,000 views on that video,
right,
I might get 30 or 40 subscribers.
Right.
If I do a political video and it gets 10,000 views, I might get 200 subscribers. Okay. It is a completely different level of hunger. A completely different level. If I did 3 videos a day on my channel right now, I would come close to growing at a rate of probably 200 to 1,000 subs a day.
Wow.
After about 2 weeks.
Wow.
If I could just do 3 a day on there. But because our growth on the sports channel is reflective of that, because our sports channel has a political lean to it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And it's feverish. I mean, it is feverish. We had a day where we got 2,000 subs in one day.
Wow.
Over there. Yeah. Yeah. But look, whatever. I'm going to be honest with you.
Go ahead. Be honest, man.
The only real political fever that there is on YouTube is conservative.
Gotcha.
If all you got to do is you can just look through the CNNs and all that and see all the downvotes versus the upvotes.
Right.
You'll know. I mean, sure, there's plenty of left-leaners on YouTube, but they grow at the same rate. Here's the best comparison. They grow at the same rate as channels that are pro-Disney Star Wars.
I got you.
Much slower. Much slower.
Right.
Much slower. There's just a fever, and you can see it. Look, and I don't want to get into politics, but I'll just say it. I'll just say it like this. You can look at a Joe Biden rally, and there's 80 people there.
Right.
You look at a Donald Trump rally, and there's 25,000 there.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a fever to hear about that sort of thing.
Right.
So, and I'm going to tell you, Rob, I struggled with the decision. I struggled with the decision to change that channel's content. Rob, I almost changed the content right after The Rise of Skywalker. As soon as it dropped, I almost changed my channel to politics 3 days later. And I did not do it, and it was the worst mistake I've ever made. I waited. And I shouldn't have. And look, I did not want to talk politics. I didn't.
So what?
I did.
Did you do it because of that, or did you do it? Do
you know what the straw was that broke the camel's back?
What was it?
When people started burning down the country, I got pissed.
I understand that.
I got angry.
I'm with you there. No, not yet. I have time.
Dude, I've got a whole business and everything, and I almost left it all behind and went and joined the militia.
Wow.
I was that mad. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I'm not. Not. You know, I mean, this is America, and it doesn't need to burn down.
I agree. That's why I sent you this. I mean, I know this is a little off topic. That's why I sent you what I sent you on your DM, because I wanted you to see some stuff that I thought was absolutely outrageous. And I send you stuff because I'm sitting there like my mind's blown. But I said, I know you cover this stuff. So I said, hey, but Star Wars is political too. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just started because, Star Wars is throwing politics in. Right? I mean, that's one of the downfalls. Throw their political, like they did that with The Last Jedi, right? They did that with that whole Canto Bight scene. Oh, let's save the animals, but we got to save those animals. Oh, look, whose side are they really on? They're supplying both you guys. Look, see, they make TIE fighters and they make X-wings. You see that? And I'm like, okay, these are good points, but where you going with this? Like,
well, and
why do we have to know that?
they also said gambling is bad in that scene.
Yes.
That was something else, you know.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. They turned every white guy into a guy like General Hux, like he's a member of the not. Let's just be honest, like he's a member of the Nazis.
Yes,
you know, and I'm like, come on now, that's not. Han Solo wasn't that way. Okay,
yeah,
he was. He was the Star Wars version of an old.
They did that one scene,
cool Fonzie kind of guy.
That one scene. You're right, because when he's there with the First Order and the red flag comes down and you see the red in the air, that's what you think of. You think of Germany, you think of that time.
Yeah,
that's definitely a good point. You think of that and it's like,
well, there was a whole bunch of drama on Twitter a while back. People, they did some sort of poll and a lot of people picked that their favorite side of Star Wars was actually the Empire.
Huh.
And Twitter just went nuts. Well, I can't believe so many people in America are pro-Nazi. And it was like, why did you have to, why did y'all make it like that? You know what I mean?
Right.
But look, that's what happens. Disney brought politics into this. And that's why the sports channel blew up. Because the sports leagues decided to get political.
Right.
They did the sports leagues did the exact same thing that Lucasfilm did. The exact same thing.
Wow.
The exact same thing.
And that's what happened. And I think that anybody for Star Wars, if you like the sequel trilogy, great. The only thing I could say is, here's the thing. You have people say the prequels were great. You say the original trilogy, and you have people say the trilogy. And here's why: because you have different generations. So it means something that when your parents or your family members or your friends or whoever it is going to the theater with you, and you're seeing this movie for the very first time, it's going to blow you away no matter what movie comes out, because it's not just that. It's also the fact that who you with.
It was it was a family experience, correct?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can remember it. I mean, my favorite movie of all time is The Empire Strikes Back. And I can remember my mother taking me to the theater, 5 years old, and man, the first time I saw that little green thing on screen with those ears, it was just like, it blew a 5-year-old's mind. I was just like, this is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen, and I saw The Empire Strikes Back first. I actually saw it first before I ever saw A New Hope, which was known as Star Wars back then. There was no tagline. It was just Star Wars. But I caught 1980. We went and saw The Empire Strikes Back. 2 weeks later, we caught Star Wars on a re-release. They re-released it a couple weeks after The Empire Strikes Back came out. And so people could see Star Wars again in the theaters too. So then they took me to see Star Wars after that. And it changed everything. I mean, absolutely nuts. It was life-changing. Star Wars was a phenomenon. It was. It was about family. It was about failure. It was about struggling, and it was about overcoming. It was I mean, let's face it, when we first meet Luke Skywalker, he's sort of annoying, I mean, let's be honest. Remember that cringy line about him?
To the Tashi station
to pick up the power converters. And you're just like, oh God, who is this guy? But by the time it's over, you're like, wow, look how far he has come.
Well, you know what it was? He was, he wanted to do his thing, and his uncle kept stopping him from doing whatever he wanted to do. He wanted to join the Empire. Oh, but I need you. Like so Luke was, to me, he was a kid. He was a young guy. Maybe teenager, and he's like, man, like even in the thing, he's flying the Imperial ship. I don't know if anybody remembers, but he's sitting there like, holding the ship, and he's sitting down while the droids are getting the oil bath, and then so his mind. And especially with Biggs, the deleted scene with Biggs they have when Biggs joins the Empire,
right,
and
right,
whatever, and then he comes back to Luke and says, "Oh, I joined, and now I'm part of the rebellion," and blah blah blah. And like, looks like, man, that's what I wanted. That's my dream, and I'm being prevented. And I can understand, because that would frustrate the hell out of me. Like, why are you preventing me from doing my dream? You got to let me go. You got to let me live my life. And so, but in the other end, he's like, "Oh, but it's my aunt, my uncle. I want to help them. I want to do the right thing here."
Right.
So he's torn between the love of his aunt and uncle, and he's torn between what he wants to do with his life. Well, then he has no choice because of what happens.
Well, he's got no reason to stay anymore after that happens.
Yeah, that's it. He's set to go. That is, you got that too? I have that. I got that too. That's awesome.
Isn't that the smallest figure you ever seen in your life?
I had to get that, man. I had to get that. Yeah, I had also. What else you got? Sure, if you stole this stuff. Yeah, sure. That's awesome, man. The Mando, the Black Series. That's terrific, bro. Well, Jedi actually has a question. The question is, what do you guys think of Ewan McGregor being replaced as Alec? Of being replaced as Alec? No?
I never. Better not. I don't ever want to see that. No.
No, I think it would ruin it. Would it ruin it?
It would ruin it. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Alec Guinness is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do it. You've got to stop shy enough in the timeline that Alec can take over as the character. You can't. I mean, I guess they can make him look old enough to almost hand off to that character, and that would be okay. But you can never superimpose or anything like that. No, Alec Guinness. Number one, people forget Alec Guinness was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he was
back during that time. He was one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. Bridge Over the River Kwai. Anybody remember that movie? It was huge, and he starred in it. And no, you cannot ever do that. Ever. You cannot do it. Star Wars fans would lose their minds.
I know we got to go, but we didn't get to really get to the very end. So Boba.
No. Let's talk about the end. Yeah. Let's stay and talk about the end. Good.
So
good
Boba
bit.
said, I don't know if he's here. She's not here. Boba says, what do you think will happen with Boba in the next episodes? Huh?
If I'm being real, I don't know that we even see him in the next episode. I think we're only going to get small pieces of Boba, very small, and then I think something will happen at the end of the finale, the season finale. And well, in fact, I can tell you right now, from what I've been told, and I still got a couple of sources that I talked to. Boba's not going to be in this season very much.
Okay.
But he is going to be heavily involved in season 3.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And I don't know where the story is going to go, but this is what I said. He's hunting the Mandalorian.
Yeah, of course he's going to. That look at the end.
He's after Baby Yoda. Okay.
I don't know if he's after Yoda or is he after his armor again. Is he want his armor back?
No, he's had all kinds of opportunity to go get his armor. It's been it's been plenty of time to go get his armor. He's not worried about that armor. He's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He's going after Baby Yoda. The biggest bounty in the galaxy is on that creature right now. And he's fixing to go after Baby Yoda. And here's what's going to happen, I think. You're going to see something like you saw out of Batman versus Superman. You're going to see a confrontation between Boba and the Mandalorian. They're going to battle each other to a stalemate. And something's going to happen with Boba where he agrees that kid is gonna I think is gonna jar that kid is gonna jar Boba's mind enough that he is going to decide to help the Mandalorian. Just like in Batman versus Superman. They fight and then they realize they've got a greater enemy, which was Doomsday and Lex Luthor, right? And which the greater enemy is gonna bless you.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Moff Gideon. And
right,
I see what's in the comment section.
Yeah, I'll put it up there.
Put the last one up there. I don't. No, I don't. The Mandalorian is a real Mandalorian.
Yeah.
They're the ultimate warriors in the galaxy. Boba is not. Boba, and look, I love Boba. Boba's up here everywhere. But no, I don't know that Boba Fett can take a Mandalorian. You know, that's probably asking a little more than but the thing about it is they can't do that. They can't have the Mandalorian beat Boba on screen.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happen. They didn't bring Boba back to kill him either. I don't believe that.
No.
So,
and we all know, I mean, they don't know by now, there's already rumored, not only are they going to film season 3, but there's a rumor that there'll be a season 4. So this thing is going to continue. At least, so we're only in season 2. They're already working on season 3, and they're going to have season 4. So there's a lot of the story to go. You know, they're on a hit. They might as well run it. You know,
I'm going to make a judgment call here, or a prediction.
Go ahead.
Season 4 will be the last season, and it will roll in to a feature film at the end of that year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, that's been talked about. It was in a Hollywood Reporter Deadline interview just 2 weeks ago, I think.
If you can build the fans and you know they're going to come and you could see the positive reaction from social media, then you could say, hey, this we got to run with because look how well it's doing. Look at the positive reaction we're getting. So that would make sense. And this way they would have confidence making a movie that they would know that people are interested in, which we would be. I think that that's a very smart financial and a very smart decision on their part. If that's exactly what they're going to do, I think that's brilliant maneuver. Brilliant.
Now, here's the catch to all that. Who knows if movie theaters ever go back to being the same again?
Yeah.
You know, so we just don't know.
True.
You know, I mean, I got to be honest with you. Here in Texas, I mean, the movie theaters are open.
Right.
And to be quite honest with you, if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't think there was any sort of a pandemic.
Oh, wow.
The way people, well, dude, we don't.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I told John this a while ago.
People just kind of quit doing the pandemic thing here. Everybody's like, we're done. We're over it.
I told John.
If we get sick, we get sick.
Yeah. I understand that. I mean, I told John this a long time ago. I told John, if they open things up, people are going to go, right? People flock to bars when they open. People flocking to restaurants. I could tell you, I go through my state on a Friday, Saturday, like a night like tonight, Saturday night, Sunday night when I'm out. Man, everywhere look, people in the street, in the restaurants, they're eating outside. That's how badly they wanted a break. So I know that business would boom. I know you open a movie theater, which is like 10 minutes from me. If they open that huge movie theater, I don't care what movies they put in, people are going because they can't take it anymore. They need a night out. You can't, if you're going to make everything all about watching it at home, people can go insane. You know, like I've already watched all this at home. I need to go outside to put my feet outside. It's the beach, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a bar. No, I don't care what it is. Open something up, I'm going. Here's my money. Take my money, because I'm so desperate to breathe the air. Because all I've been breathing is the four corners of my wall.
Well, people have also done a better job of truly looking at the statistics and realizing, okay, if I'm at high risk, I need to be more careful than other people.
Agreed.
And elderly people still need to be very careful.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
But the death rates are so low for people under 50, 55,
right?
Even 60, right. That it's people are now equating it to, look, there's almost the same chance of me going out and getting killed in a car wreck,
right,
as dying from COVID. And the car wreck scenario does not keep me at home now.
Right.
So look, does anybody want it? No. But we also remember what it did to our dude. The lockdown almost ruined my life.
Yeah, it hurt a lot of people, man.
It did so much to me financially. Personally. Relationships, all kind. It crushed everything. So it's kind of amazing that this is even that, like, YouTube success is even the same year. I'm almost feeling like I'm living two different lives right now. So I went through a lot of bad to get to something good this year.
Right.
So now in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I hope I don't get COVID and die now.
Oh, stop, Rhodes. God forbid, man.
I'm like, that would be just my luck,
Oh, my God.
I'd be like, God.
Not good, man. I'm going to knock on wood, man. No, man, don't say that. That's horrible.
That's kind of funny, but.
It is funny, but don't, oh, my God. That's horrible.
Oh, that's too good.
So, in the stream, but before we do, Rhodes, about the ending, is there anything you want to add to it about Boba? How did you feel when you saw Tina Morrison? I want to get your feelings on it.
It was really weird because as the series was ending, and him and Cobb Vanth were talking and all that, I was sitting there and I was like, it was the weirdest feeling. I was like, somebody's watching them right now. That's just, it popped into my head. I was like, somebody is watching them right now. Something is going on here. Like somebody is watching, and then it scrolled over and you see him. Can you hear me? Did my sound cut out?
I can hear you loud and clear. I just cutting my mic. I'm giving you the
muted.
floor.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I muted me.
Okay. When it scrolled over and I could see the bald head, and I was like, and then I saw the gun, that long gun, that Mandalorian gun. And I was like, there's Boba Fett right there. And then he turned around. I was like, I lost my ever-loving mind. Yeah. It was great. It was great. I had a feeling that's the kind of reveal we was going to get, something like that. So now the hunt's on. The hunt's on right now. And my prediction is, again, they're gonna have some sort of a battle. They're gonna come to a stalemate. They're gonna come to an arrangement. And I believe the enemy that they're gonna have in common is gonna be Moff Gideon.
Right. Yeah.
He's gonna be the bigger threat. He's gonna be the bigger threat.
Yes, that was Boba Fett, by the way, Majat. Yes. And if you watch the prequels, you'll see him. He also plays the clone that gives the lightsaber to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it was Commander Cody. I think that's who he played. Before he shoots Commander Cody before he shoots Obi-Wan when he gets Order 66. So he plays, I think, Commander Cody. I think that's who he played.
He plays all of them.
Yeah.
Almost all of them. Yeah, almost all of them.
Because remember, they took Boba Fett's DNA to produce all the clones, but they're all exactly him. They're all him. That's who he is. He played Jango Fett. So he was also in Moana. He did the voice of Moana's father. I don't know if anybody notices that, but I know his voice right away. When I saw that movie, I was like, whoa, wait a second. I got to look into this movie. Is that him? And it was him. I was like, wow.
Now, I'm hoping that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have the wherewithal to realize somehow, some way, they have got to put Han Solo and Boba Fett in the same room.
I know.
One more time.
Yeah, I agree.
One more time, somehow, de-aged Harrison Ford. They've got to put them in the same room.
Yeah.
In the same room, same space, a cantina, something. But they've got to get them in the same. Even if it's a turned away back shot of Han, they got to get them in the same room. So that'd be really cool. We got to see that.
I just want to say hi to Red Guard before we're about to bounce. He came a little late, but I'm glad. Yeah, I'll be streaming later anyway. If you want to play a game with me, anyway. I just want to say hi to him. So, if you haven't checked out Rhodes Rants, I don't know why, because he's got a great channel. He's doing absolutely fantastic. You could check out Rhodes Rants. You could check out Black and White Sports, and with John Matrix, and you could also check out John Matrix also again with Rhodes on Black and White on pop culture, which will cover more Star Wars and Batman and stuff like that. Trailer reactions, some like Friday the 13th, some horror films because Rhodes into horror. You'll see that also.
It's our old channels combined into one. That's what it is. Yeah. It's our old channels put into one. Yeah.
Rhodes, it was a pleasure, man, and I hope we can do this again next Friday for episode 2 because I'd love to discuss.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I'd like to. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll do this again 8:00 next Friday night. Me and Rhodes will be on here again discussing episode 2 of The Mandalorian. I hope to see you there. I hope you check out Rhodes Rants, please. Big guy, I've known him since I've been on this platform. Wonderful person. Check out him. Check out Johnny Matrix too. Another great guy. I love John. I think he's awesome. I wish he was here tonight, but maybe next week I'll try to get him on.
He was locked down with his wife tonight.
Okay, he's got what he's got to do.
I ended up talking to him. Yeah, he was like, "Damn, yeah, I'm doing something with my wife." I was like, "Don't worry about it. Rob will be okay. He'll understand."
Yeah, totally. But you need a little time for yourself. You always got to make time for you.
Hey, we got a question down here. What about Luke? Yes, I think we see Luke. I think we see a de-aged Mark Hamill at some point.
That would be fantastic, man. That would blow everybody's.
Maybe this season.
If that happens, that would blow everybody's mind. That's all I'm gonna say. If we saw Luke or Han in any sort of way, or like you said, Han and Boba. Oh my God, that would blow people's minds out the water.
Look. There's certain locks I think that will end up happening. I think you will see 3PO and R2. I think you will see Chewbacca at some point. Because, look, Chewbacca is just a guy in a costume. Why wouldn't you get him in there somehow?
Right, yeah.
Okay, 3PO and R2 are just people in costumes.
Right.
Why wouldn't you figure out how to get them in there, even for cameos? Yeah, absolutely. I think you also see Lando.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. Yeah, I think it'd be great if we see. By the way, Jedi Singh, if you do want to come, you let me know. You can always jump on next week. Be fun. Be great to have you. You're a funny guy, so I'd love to have you on.
I think you may end up seeing Luke and Lando together. Actually, is what I think is going to happen.
I think it's going to be great if they do that, Rhodes. Forget about it. I'd be like, Rhodes, let's get in the stream now. Let's go.
Emergency Star Wars stream.
Hurry.
We used to have them. I mean, that was a thing back in the day. Oh my God, emergency Star Wars stream. Yeah,
we used to do it. It's true.
Yeah.
Rhodes, it's been great, but I gotta go, and I want to talk to you a bit offline. So but everybody's been, again, check out Rhodes Rants on it used to be Rhodes Rants of Star Wars. Sorry, that slipped. Rhodes Rants, check out Black and White Sports, check out White Pop Culture, check out John Matrix. If you haven't, check them out. They're great guys. And if you don't know who they are, they were in my Palpatine video. If you missed my Eric Palpatine video, they're there. Their names are there, so you could check it out. With that, I'll catch you next time. Next Friday, we'll do stream number 2 for episode number 10, chapter 10 of The Mandalorian. With that, my name is Rob. I'm here. You've been there. And Rhodes.
That's me, Maya.
And that's Maya. Guys, it was a great stream. Take care. And go ahead. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Rhodes Rants.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.